Hey, congratulations for taking the first step to solving your slow money blues. My name is Doug, retired U.S. Marine and two-time combat veteran turned entrepreneur at your service. Today's episode is Start Now, and we are beginning season 4. We're super excited about it, and I'm so glad that you're tuning in. Once again, big shout out to all of our fans over in France and also in the good old United States of America. So last week, I actually did this episode. It's called Start Now. So we had a technical snafu. Hopefully we have corrected the technical snafu. And guess what? I think you can hear me now. So hopefully you don't have to do this again. But we still didn't stop the show. So we dropped episode 402, Joy for Jerry, yesterday. So you can tune into that as well. And then next week, we'll be broadcasting that as well. So typically, we're like a week behind or a day behind. But in this instance, we are a week behind. So we dropped the episode 401 2 weeks ago. In fact, we initially dropped it on the 7th. But because we had the technical snafu, well, guess what? We're doing it again today live. So if it was up, you wouldn't have heard it anyway. So what me and my team did is we went in and we deleted it. And we said, you know what? Let's just back the show up 1 week and we'll be okay. So if you have any questions, like always, you can visit slowmoneyblues.com and click on Ask Doug, or you submit your question on IG, Facebook, or Twitter using hashtag SlowMoneyBlues. I'm super excited about today's show because we're talking about Start Now. And I think sometimes starting is one of the most challenging and difficult things to do. But 3 things that we're going to talk about today is the things you must do to achieve your goals in 2022. But if you've been rocking with me for any amount of time, you know that I always ask these 3 questions. First of all, did you do your homework? Which was from the previous, well, actually, I would say the last episode from season 3. Did you do your homework? Listen, if you don't do your homework, guess what? It's going to be hard to achieve your goals. It's going to be hard to remain focused, to remain purposeful. So I really want you to make sure that you always do your homework. And the homework for the last episode of season 3 was write down 3 things you are really good at and share them with at least 3 friends. Now, I know you have at least 3 friends, so I want you to share those with 3 friends. And it brings about some accountability for you. And hopefully, when you ask them or when you share them with them, they can hopefully confirm that, hey, yeah, you know, you're really good at that and you should pursue that. Question number 2, did you say your morning mantra? Now, listen, all days are not created equal. I promise you that. All days are not created equal. In fact, when I woke up this morning, I was like, man, for some reason, my brain felt just a little tired today. But that did not stop me from saying my morning mantra. So I got up. And I want you to say it with me. If you did not say it today, say, I state your full name, take 100% responsibility and accountability for my life and actions. I refuse to blame others for my decisions. If I do, I give away all of my power, authority, and power given to me by God. Now, because we did have the technical snafu with the video, we didn't have it with the audio. So hopefully you listened to this episode on June the 6th, which is when it dropped. And it was entitled Start Now. Of course, we always have to pay the bills around here. And I'm so grateful and thankful for our sponsors, LIINKY and BIGNETDOMAIN. So listen, if you are a solopreneur, mompreneur, dadpreneur, or a side hustler, and you want to share a product or service, or maybe even an idea to see if your offer will actually equal an audience, then go to LIINKY.com, that's LIINKY, and sign up for your free account, and no credit card is required. And what's really cool about that, if you want to see an example of what it looks like, go to LIINKY.com, LIINKY.com /Slow Money Blues, and you can see our own page using the platform. It's super awesome and it's super easy. Go ahead and get started today. Also, it's 2022. Yes, it is 2022, and people still have digital dilemmas. They still have website worries. Well, if that's you, what I want you to do is go to BIGNETDOMAIN.com. They do email marketing, e-commerce, web design. They have a boatload of templates. They're open 24 hours, 365 days a year. They never, ever close for tech support or billing. And why? Because most of them work from the comfort of their own phone and home. But if you need a website, e-commerce solutions, or email marketing, or hosting services, or security certificates, go there today. And when you check out, use promo code BIGNET and you'll receive a savings upon checkout. So you might be asking yourself, hey, what is today's poll question? It's a great question. Today's poll question is, do you set goals? And it's yes, no, or it depends. Those are the responses. Do you set goals? Well, I will answer the question for you. Yes, I absolutely set goals. And goals basically allow you to somewhat stay focused. Think of them kind of like as metrics or benchmarks that you challenge yourself to achieve. But your goal should be tied to a specific purpose. Why set the goal in the first place if there's no incentive or no reason or purpose to achieve the goal? So look, let's hop right into today's episode, and then we'll go ahead, unhack and unpack and take the deep dive. So one of the most beloved sports in the world over is soccer. It goes without saying that having a great goalie is super duper important. You know, that's the person that stands in front of the goal to make sure that the other opponent doesn't score. The goalie only has that one job, and that's really to keep the opposing team from scoring. Now, listen, the goalie is probably under assault all the time. Now, although we're talking about soccer today, hockey also has a goalie, as well as lacrosse, all of them. And the only job that the goalie have is to keep the opposing team from scoring. Now, I told you that there are several goalies in your life trying to keep you from scoring your wins and achieving your goals. Would you believe me? So let's get personal. We're almost halfway through 2022, and today is June the 14th, according to my calendar. And in a couple of more days, in about 16 days, we're going to cross over into July, and half of the year will be gone. And this is what I know. I'm certain that many tried, some lied, and others died. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about your 2022 goals. But this is the deal. It's never been a better time to start your new goals. So I want you to get wired up and fired up and ready to go. Now, let's talk about the 3 things you must do to achieve your goals in 2022, which I really like this because I think I'm going to start using this kind of a gateway. Always at halfway through the year is to come back and challenge people to go back and look at their goals. So these are the 3 things you must do to achieve your goals in 2022. 1, you must develop a plan. People never plan to fail. They just fail to plan. You must develop a plan. Now, I know and a simple plan is something like, is, hey, look, what is really kind of the objective? Kind of start from there. Or what is the problem? And then kind of develop your plan around that problem. If you've been rocking with us for any amount of time, you know that the one thing that I'm always talking about is how to build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system. This is very personal because only you really can get the freedom you want, deserve, and absolutely need. I'll drive the point home. So right now, a lot of people are experiencing pain at the pump. Like gas hasn't been this high, never, okay? And gas is very, very high in America. So I'm not talking about globally, but I'm talking about in America. Gas is roughly about $5 per gallon wherever you go. Well, you do realize that gas is used by everyone. It's used by families. It's used by businesses. It's used by everyone. And then, of course, if the price of gas goes up, that's going to trickle into everything else, like i.e. food that all of us need to survive. So if when you started off this year, you said, hey, look, my plan is to make sure that if gas goes up, I'm not going to be worried about it because guess what? my income or my freedom ventures are going to exceed how, the price of gas and it going up. I went back and I did a little research and I found out that gas since January has gone up 44%. So question, has your income gone up 44%? For some of us, it's yes, and for others, it's no. And if yours hasn't gone up, well, guess what? You're in the right place at the right time, because I'm telling you, listen, if you want to achieve your goals, you simply have to develop a plan. Well, what's the other thing that you have to do? The other thing is you need to know your plan. It's so funny because oftentimes people say, I want to retire. And they have this new thing, called FIRE, and it's really about retiring early or whatever the case may be, financial independence and retire early, right? And that's what I always ask those people. I ask them this simple question, and no one's been able, either they're too afraid to, but I really don't think they developed a plan to achieve this thing called FIRE. And the question is, what is your number? And they look at me like, what are you talking about, Doug? What is your number? What is your number? Like, how much money do you need in retirement to maintain whatever lifestyle you currently have or desire to have? And people don't think about that. And I'm always baffled, which means that guess what? They have a goal, but they haven't developed the plan, and they don't even know the plan to achieve the goal. And the goal really is, at this point, is a number. It's like, do you need to have 5 million? Do you need to have 10 million? It depends on your lifestyle, right? Inputs equal outputs, okay? So you have to know the plan no matter what the goal is. And then the last thing is this. This is the absolutely positively last thing, and I've seen people do this too. You have to execute the plan. Because if you don't execute the plan, you might as well not have developed a plan or even know the plan. I'm looking at my board over here, and it simply says invest more and earn more, and health equals wealth. Cannot make that up. That's simple. That's like really simple. Invest more, earn more, right? And let me explain to you what that means. That means invest more and make more. Now, understand that when you invest, there's an inherent risk. So you might not necessarily earn more. So you have to learn to do this thing called pivot. You have to watch the market and see what it's doing and see what it's not doing. As we've seen over the last course of like at least a week, the Dow has given back over 2,500 points. Okay, that's really significant. If you're in the crypto space, you've seen that Bitcoin is at a, I don't know, it's not an all-time low, obviously, because when it first started out, the coin was a lot less than what it is. But it's at its lowest level in the last 2 years for sure, and in the last 3 years. Okay, so invest more, earn more is a simple goal for me. And then the question is, well, how do I do that? I don't just have to be in the market to be able to do that. Maybe me investing may mean going out and acquiring a business or starting a business, which means now I'm investing in my own ideas. But you get where I'm going with this? But fundamentally, at the end of the day, and foundationally, you have to execute whatever that plan is as it relates to that goal. Now, if you have a plan and you don't execute that plan, that's horrible. But guess what? That's why you're here now. That's why you're listening, so that you can actually get back on track. And that's the whole purpose really of this, is either one, to get back on track or start. And it's always a great time to start and have a new goal. And then the other thing I said, health as well. Well, that means simply taking care of my body, getting me proper rest, eating the proper food. And also, believe it or not, healthy relationships. Health as well. Do you have people in your life that you absolutely positively know that shouldn't be in your life? And if that's you, then chances are what you might want to do is start developing a plan and know your plan, execute the plan to get those people out of your life. Now, I'm not saying that people are throwaways, but some people are just not good for you, and you know it and I know it, and you need to put them at bay so you can do what? Achieve your goals, because if they're in your life, they're distractions, and guess what? They can hinder you from achieving your ultimate goal. So what are some of our takeaways today? Or what is the great takeaway today? Great question. A great plan is a terrible plan if you cannot execute it. I'm going to say that again. And I want you to take this to heart, and I want you to remember it, and I want you to apply it. A great plan is a terrible plan if you cannot execute it. And what's your homework for this week? I'm glad you asked that question too. I want you to do this one little thing. And if you do this, I promise you, your life is it'll change before we get to the end of July. I guarantee you'll be back on track. I want you to record your goals on your smart device. You can do it audibly, or you can do it video. And I want you to listen to them every day for 30 days. I highly even challenge you to do it. Listen to them in the morning and listen to them before you go to bed. And I promise you, once your goals become part of you, it'll be just like breathing, and you won't be able to live without them. You'll be able to, every day you look. It's like the morning mantra, right? That you say every day, right? That actually puts you in a mindset that you are in control of the things you are in control of, and you're not in control of things that you're not in control of. This is what I want you. So what do we kind of talk about today? Well, we talked about, I had my technical snafu last week. No big deal. We can always say, look, we're still here. So guess what? We just brought it to you a week later. But the main thing is this. It's never a bad time to start a new goal. And then also, if you want to achieve your goal, the three things you must do is you must develop a plan, you must know the plan, and then you also must execute your plan. And all plans are not equal, because all people are not equal. As always, tell anyone suffering from SMB, that's slow money blues, to tune in each Tuesday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and follow, like, and share us at Slow Money Blues on all social media. And also, don't forget to join our private Facebook group. Until next time, what I want you to do is I want you to continue to build, launch, and grow your own personal freedom success system. And I'm super stoked for you. And hey, listen, if you are rebooting or starting some new goals, I would love for you to share. Just visit our social media, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and just, send us a message and say, hey, look, you know what? I listened to episode 401, the beginning of or season 4, episode 1, and it really kind of got me thinking and got me motivated, got me wired up, fired up, and ready to go. And I said, you know what? I'm going to actually take Doug up on this challenge. You can, and then just, use hashtag Slow Money Blues for that. Also, if you want to let us know via recording, just go to slowmoneyblues.com and click on that Ask Doug. So Ask Doug, or make a statement or whatever the case may. And guess what? You actually might be featured on the show. So we're super stoked about the second half of 2022 and achieving all of our goals. And I will see you next Tuesday. Bye.